The announcement came like a thunderclap across the entertainment world. Dylan Wang had finally broken his silence with a brand new movie project, one that insiders whispered would be his boldest performance yet. The first whispers surfaced online late at night, almost like a secret someone wanted to keep hidden, but by morning, the internet had already exploded with anticipation. The film promised not only action but a storyline that pulled at the heart, one that painted Dylan in a role no one expected him to take. When the teaser poster appeared, fans zoomed in on every detail. His expression was haunting yet powerful, his costume layered with mystery, and his eyes carried an intensity that promised heartbreak and triumph at the same time. People could already imagine him standing at the center of a storm, commanding the screen with every breath, and yet, in the same moment, vulnerability was written all over his face. But here was the twist. Just days earlier, Shen Yue had announced her own upcoming drama, a project that critics were already calling the comeback that could redefine her entire career. The timing was too close to ignore. Some fans even speculated that the two announcements had been planned in secret, almost like an unspoken rivalry, a duel of cinematic magic between two stars forever linked by their past on screen and in whispers of reality. The fandom split into two camps overnight. On one side were the devoted Dylan supporters, shouting across social media that his new movie would break records, that no one could rival his charisma and depth. On the other side were Shen Yue's loyal admirers, claiming her drama would outshine anything released this year, that she was about to rise from the shadows with a performance that would silence every doubt. The arguments grew heated. Hashtags trended every hour, fans creating edits, posting comparisons, even imagining scenarios where the two projects collided in a crossover dream that the industry would never allow. Yet behind all the noise, something deeper stirred. It was not just about movies anymore. It was about identity, memory, and the shared history between Dylan and Shen Yue that the audience could never forget. Imagine the scene. Dylan on the red carpet, cameras flashing, reporters shouting his name, his suit perfectly tailored yet his eyes searching the crowd as if he expected someone else to be there. At the same time, across the city, Shen Yue stepped onto her own stage, her gown flowing like a river of light, her smile calm yet her hands trembling as if she too could feel the weight of invisible eyes. Two worlds colliding on the same night, neither willing to bow, both carrying the unspoken reminder of a story the public still clung to, a story of love, heartbreak, and choices never fully explained. Insiders claim that Dylan's script was chosen because it carried fragments of his own life, themes of betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption that felt far too personal to be fiction. Whispers suggested that when he read certain lines during the table read, his voice cracked, leaving the entire room in silence. Some swore that his performance was not acting at all, but a confession disguised as art. Meanwhile, Shen Yue's drama was said to hold scenes that mirrored her journey in ways only her truest fans would understand. One insider revealed that during filming, there was a scene where she sat alone at a train station, tears slipping down her face as the world moved around her, and when the director yelled cut, she did not stop crying for nearly an hour. No one dared to ask her why. The industry watched in suspense, knowing that both stars were stepping into a moment that could redefine their futures forever. Comment sections overflowed with debates. Who would dominate the screen this year? Would Dylan's cinematic fire outshine Shen Yue's quiet emotional thunder? Or would Shen Yue's delicate storytelling break through hearts more powerfully than Dylan's grand spectacle? Yet what left fans most shaken was not the competition itself, but the possibility that both projects were speaking to each other. Some fans pieced together hidden parallels, connecting Dylan's role as a man haunted by the past with Shen Yue's character, a woman searching for answers she could never find. Were the scripts deliberately reflecting their shared history? Were the producers playing into the endless fascination with their story? Or was this simply fate, weaving their lives together again in a way neither of them asked for? As premiere dates drew closer, trailers were released one after another. Dylan's was intense, filled with thunder, rain, and eyes that burned with secrets. Shen Yue's was softer, framed with warm colors and the aching silence of words left unsaid. Yet both carried a sting, an echo that reached through the screen and pulled viewers into their world. And so the question now rests with you. Whose story will you choose to witness first? Dylan Wang, standing on the edge of his greatest transformation. Or Shen Yue, returning with a force that no one expected. The screen is ready. The stage is set. The fans must decide. Because in this battle of cinema, the truth is clear. It is not just about movies. It is about two hearts, two journeys, and a bond that refuses to fade, no matter how the world tries to rewrite their story. The night of the premieres was a storm of lights and whispers. Streets around the theaters were blocked off. Fans stood shoulder to shoulder holding banners with faces of their idols, and reporters prepared for the kind of moment that would define careers. No one had expected that the two projects would release so close together, but fate had made its choice, and now the stage was set for a showdown unlike any the industry had ever seen. Dylan arrived first. His car door opened and the flash of cameras painted the night white. His suit was black and sharp, his posture calm yet his eyes restless, as though he carried a secret he was unwilling to share. Fans screamed his name, their voices breaking the night, but in that chaos his gaze flickered to a quiet corner where a single camera lingered. For a second he froze, almost as if he thought it was her, almost as if he thought Shen Yue was there watching. He forced a smile, raised his hand, and walked down the carpet with a grace that looked flawless but felt heavy. Across the city, Shen Yue stepped out of her car. Her gown shimmered with soft silver, glowing under the lights like a piece of the moon. She looked radiant, but when the microphones were pushed close, her voice trembled as she said her simple thank you to the crowd. The world saw elegance, but those close enough noticed her hands clenched tightly at her sides. Someone whispered that she had asked the driver to circle the block twice before arriving, as if she were gathering strength for a battle no one else could see. The premieres played almost like mirrors. Dylan's film opened with thunder and silence, his character standing alone in a darkened street, shadows surrounding him, a man broken yet unyielding. The theater was breathless as his voice echoed with lines that seemed to cut deeper than acting, words that fans swore felt like a confession. Some viewers even admitted they had tears before the first 20 minutes had passed. Meanwhile, Shen Yue's drama began with a soft train whistle and the quiet image of her sitting by a window, her reflection blurred by rain. She smiled, but her eyes betrayed a sorrow that gripped the heart. Within moments, the audience felt transported into her loneliness, as if they too were searching for something lost long ago. The silence in her theater was just as intense as the roars in Dylan's, because both screens carried weight, both revealed truths no one could fully name. But here was where the twist began. By the end of Dylan's movie, his character stood in front of a letter, torn between burning it or reading it. He chose to read, and as his voice cracked on the final words, many swore it was not the character speaking, but Dylan himself. Online forums exploded, claiming the letter was a symbol of his past with Shen Yue, that he was acting out a goodbye he had never spoken in real life. At the same time, in Shen Yue's drama, the final scene showed her character walking away from a station, her eyes red, yet her steps firm. Just before the screen faded to black, she whispered a single line that left the theater gasping. She said, "I forgive you, but I will not return." Fans caught their breath, stunned, convinced that her words were not only for the role but for Dylan himself. By dawn, the internet had split into chaos. Trending topics filled every corner, debates flared between fans, and edits of their endings spread across every platform. Some insisted Dylan's movie was the stronger piece, that his raw emotion carried a weight no one could ignore. Others argued that Shen Yue's drama held the real power, that her quiet devastation echoed louder than thunder. But all agreed on one thing: their stories felt connected, as if each project was speaking to the other, as if they were performing from opposite sides of the same broken mirror. The industry, too, felt the tension. Critics praised Dylan for his transformation, calling it the role that would cement his legacy, yet in the same breath, they applauded Shen Yue for her vulnerability, calling her drama a poetic masterpiece. The headlines read like battles. Dylan wins the night in numbers, Shen Yue wins the night in silence. But what happened next left everyone speechless. At a private after-party, attended by only the closest circles, Dylan appeared in the doorway. His suit jacket hung loosely, his expression unreadable. Moments later, Shen Yue walked in, escorted by her manager, her silver gown now replaced with something simple, a plain white dress that carried no pretense. The room fell quiet, whispers spreading like fire. No one knew if they would speak. No one knew if years of silence would hold them apart. Then it happened. Dylan stepped forward. Shen Yue looked up. For a heartbeat, the world froze. The noise, the lights, even the shallow breaths of those watching, all vanished. He nodded once, almost imperceptibly, and she returned it, the smallest of gestures, but enough to send shivers through the air. They did not speak, not there, not in front of curious eyes. But their silence was louder than anything words could have said. And so the ending of this chapter was not victory or defeat. It was not one film over the other. It was two stories unfolding at once, each holding truth, each carrying a weight that neither could escape. For the fans, the question remains. Was Dylan's movie a confession, or was Shen Yue's drama the answer? Did their art reveal a hidden dialogue between them, or was it only the imagination of millions who still believed in a story long past? The truth may never be spoken aloud, but the world has seen enough to know one thing. Whether on the same screen or apart, Dylan, Wang and Shen Yue remain bound by something stronger than distance, stronger than silence, stronger than time itself. And perhaps, that is why both films will be remembered, not for the competition, but for the story they told together without ever standing side by side.